Thank you for tuning in to the next episode of This is Life. It is your host, Brandon Harrison, and this is a faith-based encouragement podcast to help you navigate through life as we are all trying to figure out life together, trying to figure out this new season that the whole world is going through. And the purpose of this series that we're in the middle of Black perspective. And I've got a chance to talk to some incredible Black people and their different spheres of influence in politics, education, and parenting, whatever it is. And today I have a longtime friend. This makes me sound old, but we've known each other for 19 years now. Started high school back in Steele Canyon in 2001 and started at SDSU in 05 and finished in 09. And I'm here with Richie Williams today. And I'm glad to just get to talk to you. It's been a long time. But like I said, it's been a long journey. Started back at Steele Canyon. I met you in 01. And you just had an incredible path. It was fun. I was thinking about talking to you. I was like, man, I'd be getting tired playing basketball now for 5 minutes out in my driveway. I'm like, and to see you still just going at it, going hard at a professional level, it's just inspiring to me. Like, I got to get out there, get my push-ups in and get some shots up and not just let myself go. It's amazing to see your journey and how you just sustain that level of excellence so long, man. So thanks for being on the podcast. That was my quick intro of you, but who is Richie Williams? What has your journey been? And just introduce yourself to everybody.
Man, when you say it like that intro, 2001, I start to feel old, man. I'm still young at heart, but
right.
when you put it like that, I'm like, dang, it's really been that long? But
yep,
man, it's been a great journey, man, honestly. I mean, without its, peaks and valleys, just like life for everybody, but, a lot of peaks. And I've been having fun with it. And I was actually just thinking about it today. Every so often I like to just, sit, unwind, and just think about, where I'm at in life, think about who I am and, who I want to continue to grow to be. And I was actually thinking about Steele Canyon today. And I was thinking about my teacher, Mr. Madigan, William Madigan. He was my AVID teacher. And I remember it was probably within like the first week we had a paper to write. And for a little bit of context for people who don't know Mr. Madigan and his class environment, he usually, the kids who other teachers have trouble, getting through to, whether it's sitting down and paying attention or, getting them to focus on their work or, just anything. He was very experienced and good with kids like that. And I was one of the kids that, was pretty smart, but, I kind of faded into the background, sitting in the back of class, wouldn't say too much. So on this particular day, Mr. Madigan, like always, he's got about 6-7 kids at his desk, sitting on top of his desk, just talking to him. And he's sitting there, feet up on the desk, conversing with him. And, I go up there, I reach between like 2-3 kids, pass my paper and just walk away. And he calls me back. He's like, Richie, come here. So I walk back to him and he was like, you're a special kid. Wow. And I didn't know how to take it. So I just looked at him and, I was a very nonchalant, quiet kid. So, I just gave him a smirk and just shrugged my shoulders and went back to my seat. And thinking back on that, that was the first time in my life that someone outside of my family, told, like, pretty much was insinuating that there's something more to me than an athlete.
Wow.
And that was the first time in my life that I actually looked at myself outside of being Richie, the basketball player. I never looked at myself as smart, charismatic, or, all these other adjectives outside of, being athletic.
Right.
And, speaking about my basketball journey, a lot of my valleys came from, man, what if all this stopped right now? I get hurt and I can't play basketball.
Right.
Who am I? And, what are other things that I'm passionate about or even just like and interested in outside of basketball? So just thinking about Steele Canyon back in 2001 and my first conversation with a teacher not even conversation, but just his, intuition, feeling something inside of me.
Wow.
Like, man, like you're a special kid, man. It's something about you. I don't know what it is, but it's something about you.
Wow. And that's so powerful, because that's something, a lesson I've learned during this coronavirus time too. It's like this all can be taken away in a second, and life can just flip upside down. And that's been the whole reason for me kind of even doing this podcast, is just to capture people's stories, because it's like life can, you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Like you said, you might lose your skills, or just old age or injuries. And that's what I was saying, even me as a pastor, it's like things have changed so much in church world and how we do things. And I was saying, as a parent and doing school, and stuff is flipped upside down. And I got hit with that hard question too about 6 years ago, like, who is Brandon aside from who everybody thinks I am? Just when all, it's just be myself, like, who am I? And that's a sobering question to really see. And that's something I've always admired about you. It's like like you said, the athletics are great, but just you as a person is solid. And that's what's even more important. And that's what sustains you. Like you said, once the crowd is gone and all the accolades are gone, it's like, who is Richie? And that's just a powerful question. And with that, you kind of answered the next question though. What has been some of these lessons that you've learned along the way of, I said, just the height of all the basketball stuff at Steele Canyon and SDSU and overseas, but through all that, what have you kind of learned in the highs and lows about yourself?
One is I gotta trust myself.
Yeah.
I feel like, just, as a kid, just me personally, just from my life experiences, I kind of feel like I developed a habit of not trusting my intuition and how I feel, kind of just second guessing myself. And because of that, I feel like I've built up some resentment
Mm-hmm.
towards some of my decisions I made, just because I felt like I wasn't making them because I really wanted to make that decision. They were kind of influenced by whether it's your parents,
Mm-hmm.
your friends, or whomever. It's filtering your thought process. It's kind of like I kind of made some decisions in life with other opinions, kind of influencing my decision. So what I learned throughout this process, especially being in Europe, is you're on your own now. Like I'm no longer going to San Diego State right up the street from mommy and daddy
Right.
to where I can't figure this out. Can you come help me with this? Or, now I'm thousands of miles away where I don't know the language, I don't know how the system goes, you know, interacting with people, the cultural differences is like it's time to put on your big boy pants and, you know, figure out life. Go out there and figure out life the way how to maneuver this world. You know, ask questions. Just go explore. And I think that was the biggest thing for me because I've always been a hometown kid.
Right.
Born and raised San Diego, went to San Diego State, never had to leave my comfort zone. So my first time ever leaving was going to another country. So even the night before I was supposed to leave, I having going away party, friends and stuff over and everybody sleep, but I'm up like, man, starting to get cold feet. Like, do I really want to get on this plane? Like and do this? But you know, I'm glad that, God, gave me the strength to be like, hey, you got this. And, I went over there, came over here and I found my way. But that was definitely the hardest part, just, being away from everything that I know and not being able to just be like, damn, like I can't call my parents to help me out,
Right.
my brother and everything like that. I really just had to just find my way.
Yeah. That is that's so important. I always tell young people that too. I'm like, it hit me a couple years in the marriage. Like, man, this is, I got a whole wife and kids now. I'm like, I'm actually grown. like you said, I can't rely on anybody else's decisions or influence. And that's crazy. That hit me hard too. I was like, dang, for years, I decided things just like you said, based on other people's opinions of me or what they think I should be doing or why I should be doing something. And it's a crazy thought to be like, dang, I'm a whole grown man. I got to decide for myself and what's best for my new path that I'm trying to take. And it's, like you said, it's a scary road to really do that, but it's empowering when you do that. And that's incredible to see you. Like that's a whole different level. Like you said, across the pond, just overseas, making your life. And that's just my last question too for you. For those younger people, even people our age or older than us who listen to this, what encouragement can you give people to not really be like Richie or get to the level that you're at, but just they're trying to figure out and navigate their own life? Like, what does it take to be at your level and sustain that excellence? And just like you said, kind of chart your own path. What does it really take to get there and to stay there?
Man, perseverance.
Yeah.
Perseverance would be it for me. Just because there's some days, where it really gets hard, where you just kind of feel yourself on autopilot and not always feeling motivated,
Yeah.
but always having the drive. And I think that's where, discipline comes in. I think I built up, some pretty good habits over time, knocked off some bad habits, picked up some good habits, and, always, being able to ask for help and ask for advice. Ask for help is like, hey, I don't know everything. I know, especially for men, we can be very prideful in that area.
Yeah.
Being able to call my dad still and be like, hey, I don't know how to, get through this area. I need your advice. Or mom, this is how I'm feeling. Am I
Yeah.
wrong for feeling this way? Or or how do I build up the strength to do this? Because life is hard, man.
Yeah.
Life is hard, whether you're in a marriage or, trying to, you know, finagle your way through your career and get where you want to, and us being parents too,
Yeah.
you're always learning. You never know everything. You're always learning. So I would say my biggest advice is to persevere and, build up good habits, some
Yeah.
good habits, because at the end of the day, that's really what's gonna carry you through.
That is so good. That is so true. And just any closing statements, how can people follow you on social media, support you, watch your games, anything that you got going, people can support you in?
I use my social media a lot, just for posting, basketball stuff, basketball related stuff. So you can find me at Richie Rock 3 for Instagram and Richie Williams for basketball. For Instagram. And, typically I just post, some family stuff here and there, but
Mm-hmm.
mostly basketball stuff. And I'm easily accessible. You hit me up, I'll write you back, man. It'd be nice to meet some new people and also talk to some old friends I haven't talked to in a while.
Nice. Definitely. And when is your season? How's that flow throughout the year?
Hey, man, this COVID-19 hit us too,
Mm-hmm.
so right now every country's situation is different with the way they're handling it. So they're still trying to find a way right now. So right now I'm in Austria and, I got a few situations that, sound good, but, you still got to watch and see how because we still could start up the season.
Right.
And then based on how the country's handling, the virus situation, it could all be shut down again. So
Yep.
I kind of have to be a little bit more strategic this time with, where I find my next place. Cause now with the family,
Right.
it ain't as simple as going and I have to keep other people in mind when I make these decisions too, man, because when this last one just happened, it was pretty tough and it happened really fast, really fast. We went from not knowing what was happening or anything had hit the country where I was at to within the next 24 hours, hey, season's over. Every country is closing down their borders. So we got to hurry up and find flights and get everybody out of here before they can't go home. I had a teammate who was Canadian So he had to stop. He had to stop in Germany and a stop in New York before he went to Canada. But the
Jeez.
problem was, our president had already said, "Hey, this is a no-fly zone if you're not American."
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't find out until he got to Germany. So he had to buy a whole new ticket from
No.
Germany and find a direct flight from Germany to Canada. So it hit us hard too out here, man. So I gotta be a little bit smarter about how I make this next choice.
Yeah,
But all
man.
in all, man, we got a house over our head, we got food to eat. You know, we're extremely blessed. Things can be a lot worse. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, that is definitely a good way to look at it. It's so true. It's a lot of bad, but there's still a lot of good in the midst of it all, man. So I appreciate this time. It's just been good talking to you, seeing you, man. It's really good and encouraging all that you said, too, just to hear your journey, all that you learn, all that you overcome. It's really inspiring to me. I know everybody who listens will be inspired as well.